What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Trank Tactical. Today I'm going to be going over my tactical response kit. Now, I originally set up this bag back when there was a lot of the rioting and things going on, back towards the end of the summer. But I mean, with today's, ever increasing hostile political environment and just environment in general, I still think a kit like this is a good thing to have around and have ready. So what is this kit for? This kit's basically for if there's any sort of rioting or looting or things going on in my area where I would need to maybe defend my house, defend my family, whatever, that sort of thing. That's the sort of scenario that I had in mind with this kit. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and take a look. So this kit is built around the Readyman backpack here. I actually got this a while back and I haven't used it much, but it's actually perfect for an application like this. We've got a bit of jump cord on the outside, shock cord here, and first thing I have is just a USA flag bandana, and this is actually made in the USA, made by veterans bandana. And I have this on the outside, because of course bandanas have a ton of uses and are great to have around, but also this is just a good indicator. It's kind of, this says a lot if you're carrying something like this on your back. So I'm also going to have a link to where you can get this, support veterans here in the US, and I'll leave a link where you can get some of these bandanas. Okay, so that's what I've got on the outside. We'll just take a look at the first main thing I've got right here. So you can see you've got this concealed pocket here, and if we just open this up, okay, so right inside there I've got 2 extra 7-round magazines for my Springfield XDS, and so I've got those so that, I'll have my firearm on me. I've got some extra ammo there. Okay, so one cool feature about this bag in particular is you can actually, well, of course I shut it with the handle right here, but if you got the handle out here, you can actually just rip this open just like that, and now the whole thing's open. You can get to the inside contents. There is some nice loops here. You could put on, put on some of your gear here, attach it if you wanted. I pretty much just have things, there's not a whole lot in here, right? But I have things just in individual pouches for the most part. Okay, so first thing I've got is a good pair of binoculars. These are Pentax binoculars, and they're actually very good quality binoculars. They have good magnification, and this is going to be vital if you need to see what's going on off in the distance, scout some area, scout what's coming in, see who's coming, that sort of thing. So this is a really important thing to have, is a good pair of binoculars. So I've got that right on top there. Next thing I've got here, of course there was lots of arson and fires going on, and so what I've got is actually this here. So this is a fire mask. It's got something like an hour's worth of oxygen in here, clean oxygen, which is great. So if I needed to go into, if there's a building and I was trying to put out some sort of fire or something like that, there's also a pair of heat-resistant gloves here. And so this is actually just a really great thing to have on you, especially, if you work in some sort of building, maybe up in a upper floor of a building. This is pretty much a vital piece of equipment you should have. Right, this is the fire mask here. I'll leave a link to where you can get this, but I've got this here in case I needed to, get involved with putting out a fire, distinguishing a fire, or some sort of thing like that. Okay, so let's keep moving. Next thing I've got here is just a non-lethal, right? So this is just a Vipertech. Well, it's out of batteries, so I got to charge it. But this is a taser, obviously you can tell that. And so this is a good non-lethal option if you need to use this to settle somebody down or whatever. It's also got a little light here, but yeah, so this is low on battery, but a taser, so charge this up. That's a good non-lethal option to have. Okay, next thing I've got here is just a little pouch. This is made by Condor. Right on the outside here, I've got a tactical style flashlight. This is actually made way back by A-Tactical, then they became WowTac. This is the one Black Scout made his flashlight out of. I don't even know if they're in business still, but this is a decent flashlight. It's rechargeable. It's got momentary there and several different modes. So it's good to have, of course, a good tactical light on you. It's also got a somewhat crenulated bezel there for defense, but it's not the most aggressive bezel that I've ever seen. Okay, and there's not a whole lot in this. This is just some, it's kind of a working kit. I don't know exactly what I wanted in here. There's a few escape and evasion type things. I've got a little signal mirror here, some earmuffs here. That's just some kind of some PPE. I've got a small razor blade here. And then I do have just a Bic lighter and a wet fire, just because, I don't know, I kind of put that in every kit I put together. So again, I'm going to put some more escape and evasion type equipment in here, probably a little crowbar, some lock picks, things like that. But it's a working kit, so I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted in here. Okay, so next thing here, super important, and I don't have any sort of indication patch on here, but I really need to get one. This is the Maxpedition, one of their, what do they call these packs? I forget the exact name of these, but I got a whole bunch of them when they were going on clear out. They were like 30% off, which was a really great deal. But this is basically a blowout medical kit, so we're going to go in and take a look what we've got in here. Okay, so we're just going to take a quick look what's inside this first aid kit. So you can see I've got it really stuffed to the full here, which is what you want. It does have some shock cords here if you wanted to mount this externally. That's going to keep it from, you know, dumping all over the ground. But first I have a few loose things here. First thing I have is a P95. It might actually be a P99 face mask. Of course, with the pandemic and everything going on now, this is a vital thing to have if you're going to be doing, you know, coming in contact with people. I've also got some extra filters inside, which we'll see, but it's pretty much just a low-vis mask you can throw on. Next thing you've got is some quick clot, and you know, this is going to be good for stuffing those wounds that are, you know, in, you know, appendages, you know, between the shoulders or the groin, things where you can't get a tourniquet's not effective, and so this is going to be what you want to stuff the wound with. So I've got a bit of that. Got one more here. This is a ready mask. Maybe I'm with another person. Maybe I lose this mask, whatever. It's just one more option, a personal protection piece of equipment that I've got in there. Okay, so let's keep going in this kit. So starting off on the left here, I've got a pair of trauma shears. This can be used to remove clothing or cut any bandages to size, things like that. I've got another bandana here, which can be used to stop bleeding or help stop bleeding or cover a wound. You know, bandanas have tons of uses. On the right here, I've got an Israeli bandage. These are of absolute, some of the best pressure bandages on the market, or if not the best pressure bandages. And I've used one before, and it actually, you know, was super crucial that I had it for somebody one time. So I carry these in all my kits. Got a Sharpie here that's to be used in conjunction with the cat tourniquet. Of course, you want to mark the time that you applied the tourniquet. So I've got a cat tourniquet here. That's because this is approved by the, I forget the exact acronym, but the Tactical Response Committee. Next thing I hear of a pretty extensive burn kit. Again, with the fires that were going on, with a lot of the rioting and looting, there's a good chance people were getting injured with burns. So you could apply this to yourself or to someone else. This has a good amount of gels and things that are going to help with serious burns. Okay, moving on to the left here. I've got some Curad bandages. These basically dissolve into a skin type bandage over those wounds that can be hard to get to with a band-aid or something like that. So it's for smaller wounds, but they are very useful to have in a kit like this. Next thing I have is some medical tape. Now this is the Transport by 3M medical tape. It's 10 times better than any of the regular medical tape you get. It actually stays on there. It's just the best medical tape on the market. So I'll leave a link to this. You guys, I would highly recommend you pick some of this up. And that can be used with any of these, which are just some bigger gauze pads, just to address those, you know, not serious wounds, but things you definitely want to cover up. I do have this. You can use this with that. Last thing I do have down here is a couple of the extra filters. PM 2.5, I guess that's what I meant to say on the filtration. So I have these, those can go with that face mask. But first aid kit, absolute important piece of gear. It's important you know how to use this stuff. Take a Stop the Bleed course, 511 store, find one of them near you. They offer a class on this, that's what I took. But this is crucial gear to have on you and know how to use. Okay, and then last thing I've got in the back here are a couple of these oversized zip ties. These can be used as makeshift constraints, handcuffs, that sort of thing. You know, with all these crazy people running around, this could be something that would become very useful. So that's basically everything I've got in here, guys. It's a working kit, so be sure to leave your comments on what you think could be added, that sort of thing. But overall, I think it does cover some of the very important things you should have in a kit like this. So if you enjoyed this, be sure to subscribe to my channel, guys. Check out my other videos. I've got more content coming. As always, thanks for watching. Stay safe, and we'll see you on the next one.